Good morning and welcome to another edition of Mark's Inspiration. Glad you could join me here today. As always, smash that like button and subscribe now. Do it now or you'll forget it. It's amazing how many videos I watch and I don't hit the like button and subscribe unless they tell me. And if I don't do it right when they tell me, then I forget to do it, even though I like the video and I want to hear more from the creator. So it's really funny how that works. Okay. It's cold here today. You see, I got my coat, my sweater on. I have an old house, and when it gets this cold outside, about 10 degrees, it doesn't stay very warm in here. I have two heating units, one upstairs and one downstairs, but they just don't quite do the trick. All right, today's topic is going to be what you see is what you'll be. Well, no, that's not necessarily true. What do you see? What do you see in your girlfriend? What do you see in the world? What do you see? But I'm not so much talking about what you see with your eyes, what you see with your beliefs. And it is true. What you see her as, she will be. What you see the world as, it will be. What you see your boss as, he will be. Because you focus on these qualities. And whatever qualities you focus on in your wife, your girlfriend, your lover, your best friend, the world, your job, your boss, these qualities will magnify. That's why it's so important to look for the good in everything and everybody. Do I always do that? No, I don't. But when I catch myself focusing on the negative, I try to find something good. Or no, I don't just try, I do. I look and search until I find something good about the person or situation that I can focus on. Now, I may have to repeat this over and over because certain situations that happen in my life I don't particularly like. And some of those things happen over and over again on a daily basis, such as the current health crisis situation. Okay, I have to look for good in that. One good thing is the last couple of years, my business has doubled, tripled. The gross revenue sales and my income has tripled. Okay. How does that happen in these trying times? I say it happened because I chose to focus not on the bad, the so-called bad, but on the good of the situation. Although looking back, sometimes I think, did I really focus on the good? I seem to have been upset several times about things I didn't like, things I couldn't change. But in regards to your woman, many guys, and I've done this too, they'll get pissed off at their wife or their girlfriend and they go complaining to their buddies about it. And every time they turn around, they're complaining about what their girlfriend's doing or what she's not doing. They're focusing on what they don't want, what they don't like. They're focusing on what they don't want more of. And guess what they continue to get? More of it. And if you look at women in a sense, as some people do, some of the creators, like women are the enemy, or at least it seems like some creators do that, not all. Women are not the enemy. Or if you look at women as all damaged and screwed up and they're all going to lie to you, they're all going to cheat on you, it's just your turn, etc., etc., you will create that reality for yourself. You will bring those type of women that will correspond to your beliefs about women into your life. Now, I'm not saying that women don't have certain characteristics, because they do, just as we do, and characteristics that women don't like. And women have characteristics that men don't like in general. But we have to accept these characteristics, these polarities of difference. We have to have polarity. If women were exactly like men, let's say, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, wouldn't that be boring? It would be boring, wouldn't it? Would be for me anyway. Now, of course, we don't want them to be like us physically because of the intimacy we desire to have with them. So the women you see will become what you believe them to be. It's your beliefs that create your reality, or you step into a certain infinite reality. There's infinite numbers of realities, I believe, created by your beliefs. You step into that and you draw people into your life which corresponds with your beliefs about how women are, about how life is, about how people are, about how money is, your relation to money, and everything. And these beliefs, more often than not, are formed before you're 7 years old. I think that's the impression period, they call it. You're like a sponge. You don't have a conscious mind, rational or strong enough to weed out or filter out the things that aren't really congruent with having a good life. For example, if you grew up with two parents and they were fighting all the time and then making up and fighting and making up, more than likely you will find yourself in relationships where you're fighting and making up with your lover all the time and you think this is love. And the contrary, if you find yourself in a position where you are with a woman and you guys have a good relationship and you can talk and communicate, and occasionally maybe you get angry, but you walk away from each other, you come back later and discuss it and come to an agreement or some kind of an agreement to disagree, then more than likely you grew up with parents like that, and that was the example that was impressed upon you when you were a child. You were programmed that way. Not by anybody on purpose, but you were programmed by what you saw. More truth is caught than taught. When my kids were growing up, I started smoking cigarettes again. And I really felt guilty about it because I would tell them that cigarettes aren't good for you. But yet here I'm smoking. So what are they going to listen to? Are they going to listen to what I'm saying? Or are they going to listen to and be influenced more by what I'm doing? Of course, it's the latter. What I'm doing speaks so loudly, no one can hear what I'm saying. So your example that you give to other people, that you present, and the examples you were presented with as you were growing up make impressions on your life, and they form grooves in your personality which you follow. And it's hard to get out of those ruts or out of those grooves. First, you have to recognize which ones are working for you and which ones aren't. Okay, and then you can make a concerted effort to change these patterns, these habits. We either have success habits or failure habits. Everything is a habit. Few things happen just in the snap of a fingers overnight. They happen because you've developed habits and patterns of doing the same thing over and over and over again, over a period of weeks, months, even years. And then eventually they come to fruition in your life, whether for good or for bad. If you have success habits, then you become more successful. If you have failure habits, you become more of a failure. But it's up to you. You can change these anytime you like. I'm in really good shape because I've developed a habit of exercising since I was about 20 years old. For me, it's easier to exercise than to not exercise. I have been doing it so long. I've developed the habit of eating healthy. That was kind of difficult because I really liked sweets. My grandmother used to call me, say I had a sweet tooth. So I believe that. And guess what? I always had to have sweets after every meal. Except when I was drinking alcoholically, and there's so much sugar and alcohol, I didn't desire sweets because I got my sugar fix from that. And I could go on and on about the amount of sugar in food because it's addicting. So many things out there are addicting. So why not try to find something addicting, like exercising, that actually helps you and makes you into a stronger, better human being? But even exercise can be overdone. I've done that many times in my life also. Anything that makes me feel good, I want more of. But at least try to find something that makes you feel good, that you want more of, that actually benefits you instead of takes away from you. There's a saying in a book that I like to read sometimes. He who loves pleasure will suffer want. If you love the pleasure of eating delicious foods all the time, you're going to want to be thin because you're going to gain some weight and your health is going to go to crap. If you love the pleasure of sex, of being with a woman, and you do a lot of that, that will drain you physically and financially. He who consorts with, what they call it? He who consorts with harlots squanders his wealth. And that's a very true saying too. Excuse me for just a minute. I'm making a video. Sorry. I'm in the middle. Okay. I'm back. He who consorts with harlots squanders his wealth. I had a little interruption there, one of my sons. Sometimes it's hard to, or difficult to find time alone to do things like this. When I have 5 kids living here. It was 6 of them, and there's no woman here. We've been by ourselves for the last 10 years, but it's been great. So, I was back to that. Oh yeah, he who consorts with harlots squanders his wealth. Okay, now there's nothing wrong with pleasure of a woman. God knows I love pleasure of a woman. But when it becomes a guiding force in your life, eventually it will lead to you wanting, either wanting for more of that or wanting something, and it will give you a feeling of emptiness. So I don't recommend that you make getting laid your sole vocation. It's not a good thing to have. I was somewhat addicted to the relationship aspect of it, the whole gamut of a relationship, and it became too important for me a couple of times in my life, and I definitely ended up in want. When I would part from this person, I would walk away, we'd break up, and man, there was a lot of pain I went through. But I realized that I didn't keep these relationships in perspective. They became too important. So anything is good in moderation. When something, it doesn't have to be a relationship. It could be your job. It can be money. It can be fame. It can be power. Many things can become, let's say, a god for you, or something that is the most important thing in your life. And when that happens, it really is getting off your center. It's not congruent with being a fulfilled, happy man. Because what happens is these things that you enjoy the pleasure of so much become your focus, and they become what you think is giving you your fulfillment, when in reality it's not that at all. So they pull you off your course. So be very careful of anything that is pleasurable. But that doesn't mean you can't smoke a cigar once in a while, or have a drink once in a while, or get high once in a while, but everything in moderation. If it becomes a daily habit, make sure it's a habit that is helping you to grow and moving you in the direction of your vision or your goals. Now, you do have a vision or goals, don't you? You need that as a man to find fulfillment. And fulfillment doesn't come from achieving, but from moving in the direction, the successive progressive realization of a worthy goal or idea. Okay, so remember, everything stems from your beliefs. Whatever kind of women you think are out there, that is the kind of women you're going to draw into your life. If you think all women are liars, guess what kind of women you are going to attract into your life? Women who lie to you. If you think all women are just out for what they can get from you, your money, your success, your whatever it happens to be, sex, whatever, then guess what kind of women will come into your life? Your beliefs create your outer world. So be careful what you believe, and stop and think about what you believe. What do you believe about certain things in your life? You can change those beliefs. It's not easy, but the same way you acquired those beliefs over a period of time and repetition, you can change them with visualization, affirmation, and changing of your actions, which will come from your visualizations, your affirmations, and controlling your thoughts. Okay, if you can't, whatever you can't control will control you. So learn to control this mind. And when you control that, indirectly, your outer life will start to form the way you desire it to be, the way you're thinking about it is. All right, so that's all I have time for today. If you'd like to get my help personally, you can check out my website at marksinspiration.com. Share this video with a friend if you think it would be of a value to them. And I'm out of here. Have a great day.